We're here tonight for the Angel Award. This is the 31st time that we've had an opportunity to honor amazing people from across Louisiana who go above and beyond in support of Louisiana's kids. It's always a fabulous event where we take nominations from across the state. In this case, we picked 10 amazing individuals, and we're glad to be able to tell their stories to a statewide audience. More than 30 years ago, some folks at Louisiana Blue looked around and said, you know, courtesy of the work of the foundation and many others, kids in Louisiana now have access to health care insurance, but it's not like kids don't face all sorts of other challenges. So when we thought about what we could do best, we decided that a first step we could take was highlighting the people across Louisiana who go above and beyond in support of Louisiana's kids. And that's how the Angel Award was born, and for 31 years now we've honored amazing individuals from all across our state, from all walks of life, all ages, who are meeting the needs of kids. Some are physical, some are emotional, some are educational, and everything in between, but these are all amazing individuals that we're proud to be able to honor. Louisiana Blue's mission is to improve the health and lives of the people of Louisiana. And many years ago, actually back in the 1980s, Louisiana Blue were a mutually owned not-for-profit insurance company. We're owned by the people of Louisiana and our members. And we looked around and said, you know, there are too many kids in Louisiana who aren't getting the health care that they need because we don't have access to the health insurance that we need. And so as a company, we started doing work about that. We started raising funds and ultimately helping kids have access to health care insurance. The first name of that effort is the Caring for Children program. That became the Caring for Children Foundation, which is the original name of the Louisiana Blue Foundation. And so for more than 30 years now, we've focused on addressing the needs of Louisiana's kids. And when that work ultimately gave rise to the creation of the Children's Health Insurance Program, our foundation board looked around and said, you know, kids now have access to health care insurance, but kids face all sorts of other challenges. How do we tell those stories? How do we highlight those people doing great work on behalf of kids, and how do we support them? And the Angel Award was born. And for each of these honorees tonight, we're going to tell their story that hopefully points out the amazing work they're doing on behalf of kids. But we're also going to make an investment, a $30,000 grant into each of their organizations of choice to help grow that work and ultimately expand it across the state of Louisiana.
Our parish is very poor. It's rural. We don't even have a red light in our parish. I wanted, and that's always been my dream, is to be able to bring something to our parish that our kids would be proud of. Grant Parish went to a 4-day school week, and parents stood up and said, somebody in this parish has got to step up and provide a service for our kids. And I was sitting in the back and I said, okay, God, I don't know how we're gonna do it, but let's do it.
1, 2, 3, B22!
I am Benita Armour, and I am the president of B22 Sports Complex. B22 is a place where people can come and have education, recreation, good food, and good fellowship. Lots of fun.
This place is so important because there's not much to do around here, especially since now we have phones and video games. To be able to connect with people, you have to have a physical place to do that. For kids, this place is a place where they can come together, they can spend time with one another, and they can learn different sports, different activities that they're unable to do. They can come and learn and play VR games that they don't have. They can play dodgeball, and they can come together and make new friends.
I love that we offer anything and everything that we can for those in our surrounding area for them to come to and find a place that they belong.
When I found out about B22, it was to help me become a better soccer player. Since then, I've worked here at B22, and it's allowed me to grow into different positions and have different opportunities within school, within my own career path of wanting to become a coach and an athletic trainer.
Just that relationship building and seeing her go from being discouraged because of where she came from and those struggles to where she is now, of being able to lead a soccer program, to be able to go to college and to play soccer in college. And that encouragement to say, you can do this, way to go. That's what these kids need, is somebody to pick them up and help them become the leaders that they need to be.
Miss Benita is somebody that I look to a lot, and am very, very grateful for. To have her believe in me and trust me with big roles that I have now and trust that I'm gonna do a good job. She truly has changed my life for the better.
I like to say she's like my second mom. She's been with me for a while. She's given me opportunities I never thought I would have. So she is definitely a special person in my life.
Let's play!
I think we're all called. We're all called to do something. We're a community in Dry Prong of 500 people. It just takes hard work, dedication, faith, and belief that it can be done. And it's not just one person. It's a community of people. Now, it may start with one person and them thinking they're crazy, but then it catches on. Everyone, meet the needs of your community. Figure out what it is that that community needs, and you can do it.
I was so humbled. You know, I feel so unworthy because there's so many people that are doing so many good things, but I'm so thankful for Louisiana Blue Foundation for spotlighting our campus, because we have so many people that have volunteered and giving so much time and energy and money and prayers just to be able to keep our organization and our facility reaching out and helping people in our community.
Blow Miss Devon a kiss. Blow her a kiss. Mwah.
The statistics in Louisiana regarding maternal health is overwhelming. It's a birth justice issue. It's a human rights issue. This is an issue that can be fixed.
It's our bonding time. I don't think I'm ready to give that up. Aww.
If we just get one that has a positive outcome, we're making a difference. And that's what we do day to day. I am Divine Bailey Nicholas, the founder and executive director of Community Birth Companion.
Does it have a cap on it?
Yes. We're a grassroots organization really based in decreasing infant and maternal mortality rates through childbirth education, breastfeeding support, and community doulas. Right now in Louisiana, and specifically in St. Landry Parish, we're at about 2 times the rate of maternal mortality amongst Black families, and also with infant mortality.
It's when we don't listen and when we don't validate someone else that we lose more than just trust. We lose lives. Doulas, as well as other healthcare providers, whether they're doctors or nurses or, PAs, working together in a community where others may be shunned because they may be obese, they may live below the poverty line, they may be advanced maternal age. When you work together and you change the mindset of how they see themselves, how society see them, and they have positive outcomes, then we are doing what we have been called to do, and it works.
It's so important to break down silos in the healthcare system. We need pediatricians, OBs, midwives, doulas, lactation support, the Department of Health, WIC. We need to all know what we're doing because so much of the work that we do overlap. We really pride ourselves here at Community Birth Companion to provide a circle of care. That type of connection that we're all talking to each other is very important, that we have everybody on the same page.
I was told that I would not have children, and to look at him and see that this is what I have, this is what God gave me, and he's healthy, he's thriving in every way possible. It is amazing. It's unbelievable. I cry many days looking at him thinking that this is mine. I finally, I was able to be a mom.
A lot of our mothers, they come in, we have the first-time moms that are just terrified. They hear so many stories of, I had a friend, my mom, my aunt, this happened to them. But when you have a doula that is invested 100% in not just the physical outcome, but the emotional outcome, then it really does make a difference.
I honestly don't think that I would have been able to do the things that I've done. Having a natural birth, just being able to know that I had them gave me strength. She was made for me, to be there for me and the whole community. She's really an angel.
Angels are called by someone greater than who they are. And when an assignment is given to that angel, it is given for a direct reason. They have been equipped to do it, and when they have been equipped to do it, they will do it to the best of their ability, and guess what? They will not fail.
I just feel that I had a calling, and my calling told me that you can't sleep on this calling, you have to act on it. You know, I'm glad that people are seeing the work that I'm doing, that Community Birth Companion is doing, and I'm just very humbled and very grateful to be supported in that way.
I was so surprised to win this award and know that maternal health is still on people's mind here in Louisiana. I'm hopeful that we can keep mothers and babies in the forefront of what we're doing here in the state.
I got started being an advocate for individuals with disability 21 years ago. My late daughter had autism, and 20 years ago we didn't have services. I have moved her from one school to another because the other school had a better service that they could provide. I have had to pay out of pocket for therapies and all of these things. When she passed away, it was, these kids still need me. It's part of who I am. It's part of my everyday life, and it's part of what makes me feel like other parents aren't going to have to go through what I went through. Good job. Good job. My name is Dawn Stanfield. I am the Special Ed Coordinator and Program Director for the Academy of Collaborative Education. ACE is one of 10 schools in the entire nation that are public charter schools for kids with autism. We were co-founded by a mom whose child had autism and a speech therapist who realized that her kid wasn't going to get what they needed educationally.
The need for a school like ACE in this area in Northeast Louisiana is great. ACE is in its first year, and we started with 93 students, K through 5, and next year we will grow to 6th grade, and we will be at 126 students next year. We meet them where they are. We meet them at their need, but we are able to scaffold them to an education just like other kids in a small setting.
Cheese.
Harlem, she's a very unpredictable child. I didn't get answers where I was. I felt hopeless. I was promised that they had a self-contained class. They did not. She was in a classroom full of 28 kids, and she was under the table. I immediately snatched her out of there, and at that point I was at limbo. I'm just scrolling on Facebook and I see ACE. It became a home away from home. You feel comfortable at home, you feel relaxed at home. I felt that here.
ACE has given me the hope that Ava will be able to find her place. She's just allowed to be her at ACE. And that's the best part. These children, these students are allowed to be who they are. I feel like this is personal for Dawn. It's not just a job for her. It's everything to her. She genuinely cares about these children, and she wants to see them succeed in life.
Dawn is an angel. Dawn is the most humble person I've ever seen. So not only is she an angel, she's my angel.
It's not an angel! It's so hard!
I don't ever do anything for any kind of recognition. It's about these kids, it's about my staff. And it just makes me realize that 21 years ago, this little girl taught me how to be different. Okay, there. These kids reminding me of her is the joy of it. I'll never get my child back. I grieve that, but I have so many other kids that I have impacted. I have so many other kids that I'm able to be a part of their day and to make them feel loved. And I think that is my power. That is why I keep doing it, is because I can come to school every day and see the changes in these kids.
Big squeezes.
I think that it is one of the most important things. It is something that I truly enjoy doing, not just with ACE, but I also volunteer with a special needs baseball league. I volunteer with an adult community group homes, and I have instilled in my nephews and now my grandkids and my daughter to come and volunteer as well.
Something that was instilled at me at an early age from my mother is if you find a problem, don't complain about it. Don't sit around and talk about it. Find a solution. And so I've always tried to, when I recognize there's an issue within anything I do, I always try to find a solution. I am Kelly Todd. I'm the Executive Director of Volunteers for Youth Justice. Volunteers for Youth Justice is a local nonprofit whose mission is to create a community caring for family, youth, and children in crisis. We started off as a volunteer organization for kids in the juvenile justice system. That's where Volunteers for Youth Justice came from. But over the years, we've expanded and added all of our other programming, like our CASA, our FINS, our court programs, our TBRI, our school-based programming, and our Family Resource Center.
Oh, you scored one in your own goal.
We have a great ecosystem of partners. So even if the program isn't one that Volunteers for Youth Justice manages, we know who can best help families with whatever their challenges are. And the Harbor, to me, is the culmination of all that. It brings all of those resource providers together to make it easier for families who need to access lots of different resources to get right back on track.
We can treat the children all we want, we can provide services, but we want to get the whole family involved. So this comprehensive set of resources allows us to deal with the entire picture. It's very important to understand the why, and a lot of times when you figure out the why, it's something simple. It may be something as simple as they're not going to school because they didn't have any uniforms that were the right color. But unless you know that root cause, then you'll never be able to help these families.
I think the importance of having the programs that VYJ offer, even from early childhood, it helps keep people out of the system in so many different ways. Sometimes there are situations where a person comes before the judge, they are in court. You always think, I wonder what would have happened if they had mentors, if they had the resources to make sure that they had clean uniforms to go to school and not be bullied, if they had the resources to go to classes to teach them about making better choices. We always think that what if. This is the what if.
Many times, all a kid needs is someone to care about them and to know they have that one person. A lot of times they don't have that. These kids, specifically Elena, she came from a very bad environment, and she didn't understand love. She didn't know me until she saw the difference between the environment she came from and this thing she could call a family. Like, I called her my daughter. And so she felt like family, and that's very important. It makes you feel like you belong. It makes you feel connected.
They're following you. It followed me. Yeah, they're following
That woman has the biggest heart I've ever seen. Thank you. Thank you for molding me into the person that I am. Thank you for being the person that I needed for that support. Thank you for not giving up on me.
She does not like the attention being on her. She does not like the spotlight. But it is hard for those of us who are around her to not want to show the community or the world at large what an amazing leader she is, and to give her the praise that she deserves.
I'm a very humble person. I just do my job. Some days I like to just sit over here and watch families and see them smiling, leaving here smiling, and seeing them armful of groceries or backpacks and school supplies, or just to sit back and know we're helping. Volunteering is the most important thing you can do. That's how I got involved with this organization. I was actually teaching school at the time, and I found this volunteer opportunity, and I just fell in love with the mission, and I started working here, and I've been here ever since. But volunteers make our organization. We couldn't do anything without volunteers. We have over 300 volunteers for VYJ, and they do a remarkable job of making a difference for our children and families.
Okay, let me get your ass. Well, I think it's a calling. I just think some professions are a true call, and I think teaching is one. I did an extended substitute job one time, filling in for a guy who had taken leave. And when the students left at the end of the year, I missed them. And I said, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I'm Barry Jackson, AKA Coach Jackson, freshman seminar teacher and head softball coach at Tara High School.
When you walk into Coach Jackson's classroom, you see students legitimately learning and thinking. You see students getting to engage with each other and talk to each other. They feel supported by him. They feel like he genuinely cares about them.
It's extremely important for our students. The culture that we serve, a lot of our students there don't have the opportunity to have a strong male role model in their homes, and Barry does exhibit that. He's been here a long time, and he's very helpful in not only helping students academically, but helping them with their life skills.
The world that these kids face, the challenges they face today, are in many cases immeasurable. You don't know what they're walking into school with every day, and so to walk into an environment where you know that a coach is, you're going to get consistent love and care and concern, it really gives a baseline for many athletes. It gives them an opportunity to start from a place of solid ground.
When I interviewed Coach Jackson, I found out that in his 30-plus year career of being not just an educator in the classroom, but being a coach, every single one of the students that he has coached has graduated, which is wild to have a 100% graduation rate for one individual when we're in a district where sometimes as many as 30% of students aren't making it to graduation.
Seeing those students walk across the stage at graduation, in particular, those that I've coached or those that I've taught personally, that's the ultimate. It's greater than any amount of wins, any championships, any awards. That's the greatest of them all, just to watch them walk across that stage into the many opportunities that's going to open up for them. It's the best.
Now, give it up for the class of 2025.
He's a loyal man, he's a faithful man, and when you're talking about being modeling that for decades, for have someone to look up and say, one day when I become an adult, when I become a man, or I become a coach, or I become a husband or a father, I want to be like Coach Jackson.
I got first graders that I'm teaching that you walk in, you shake somebody's hand, you look them in the eye. If your jersey should be tucked in, you tuck in your jersey, you thank the refs after the game. Being the helping hand without being told to help somebody, just wanting to be helpful. Coach Jackson is an angel because of just his heart. He is just a good role model to have.
It's just moving. It really is, just to know you have that kind of impact. I mean, that carries so much weight with it. And at the same time, it carries a deep responsibility. See me in that light. It's just humbling. And I'm just grateful that God would give me an opportunity to be a part of what he wants to do through the eyes and a part of what he wants to do in the life of young people. It's just humbling. Humbling, to be honest with you. Just the thought of God just allowing me to be a part of what he desired to do through me in the lives of young people is very humbling and honorable.
You know how important space is, right? Like creating.
It pains me to know that there are young people in our community who don't have a sense of safety, Homelessness is not just a housing issue, it's a public health issue. It's linked to mental health, it's linked to physical health. We see much higher rates of chronic disease. It's an issue that we all should care about as a society. It's more than just about housing, it's much more than that. I am Renisha Robertson, the CEO of Covenant House New Orleans. 25% of our youth are survivors of human trafficking. These are young people who have come from homes of abuse and neglect, young people who are LGBTQ and have been rejected by family. By the time they reach Covenant House, they've exhausted all resources and they really have nowhere else to go.
You have to understand, we get individuals who literally come here with the clothes on their back, nothing else. We're not only giving them a meal a day, we're not only giving them a place to sleep and a roof over their head, we also have an education and an EdVoc program where we help our young people find jobs, partnering with employers in our community. We help enroll them in school, whether it's a high school or whether it's to get their high set or if it's to get a trade. You know, we have a maternal pathways program where it caters to first-time mothers. They have their own apartment that Covenant House furnishes.
It took a big stress off of my shoulders. And so with me having shelter, with me having a mentor, especially with all of the staff checking in on me every day, I really had a great pregnancy mentally, physically, and spiritually. I'm very grateful for that.
The babies that are born out of this program so far with these moms all are at a healthy birth. They're all breastfeeding. Those are indicators that we want to track and see. And, you know, in a state that is dealing with a high maternal mortality rate and a high preterm birth rate, programs like the maternal care home really address a critical need of helping to keep babies and moms healthy.
I'm a proud mom. I've raised 2 children of my own, and I've had a hand in raising a lot of other children in my family and community. And that gives me great pride to be able to witness their transformation, that they're discovering who they are and what they want to do and want to be.
Young people need love. They need understanding. They need someone to be patient with them. They need people who are trauma informed. They need folks who understand that they have been through something. And because they've been through something, they may not take the same track as everyone else. It might take them, 2 more steps than the average kid.
It has been amazing. My life changed, from me being an 18-year-old girl, still figuring out herself, to being a more mature woman now, because at the end of the day, it's not about me no more, it's about him.
I feel like I'm doing God's work. I'm able to just be a vehicle for change and a vehicle to ensure that I can spread something that we all need, and that's love.
Incredibly honored, initially shocked. I'm really humbled and just honored to be a part of such an elite family of people who give so much of their time and talents to help communities in need, to build healthy communities. I'm just really honored to be recognized by the Louisiana Blue Foundation, and again, just incredibly humbled.
Right now, I'm taking Slims and Huskies and putting them in one box and regulars in another box.
The children need to feel confident when they walk into that classroom. They need to be ready to learn. So they don't need to be thinking about the spot on their shirt or the hole in their pants or the fact that their shoes are 2 sizes too small. And that's our goal, is so that when they walk in that classroom, their worries are how they're going to do on that math test or how they're going to do on that English test, and not the way they look. I'm Dewana Tarver, and I'm the founder of Dewana's Closet in Lake Charles, Louisiana.
Okay.
All right.
I gotta go deliver. I can't keep our customers waiting.
I know. The Closet is an organization that provides anything that our students in our public schools need to help them be ready and prepared to learn when they walk into the classroom. That entails uniforms, shampoo to wash their hair with, shoes and socks, clean underwear, sanitary napkins, things like that.
Dewana's Closet, they partner with all the schools in the parish. Every school has families in need. Every school needs assistance with uniforms, shoes, socks, all of the things that she provides through her services.
These are long sleeve turtlenecks.
In order to receive help, a child has to be noticed by an educator. This last week we had a note from a bus driver. We've had cafeteria workers, but it has to be somebody from inside the public school system. Our schools have been in session now for 3 weeks, and we have given out 2,917 articles of clothing and shoes in those 3 weeks, as well as school supplies and things like that. We also do a food program, Food for Thought, and the statistics we see is that probably if you walk into a classroom of 30 kids, there's at least 10 of those kids that are going home on Friday and not sure they're going to have food on Monday.
As an educator, when you come in, you're thinking about how you're going to teach them how to read and how they're going to do math. You don't think about meeting those basic needs, and we honestly don't have the funding and the means to be able to do that. For her to come in and be able to supply those uniforms and those snacks, it helps us, because otherwise it would be us and the teachers having to go out and really spend our own money to be able to do that.
When you would give them new uniforms and they'd come to school the next day, it was like an entirely different child. The smile on their face, they were ready to get involved, whereas before, bless their little hearts, they felt how they looked. And so this has made a huge difference for the self-esteem of all of these little people.
My husband was one of those kids. If there was money for new clothes, the oldest boy or the oldest girl got it. So by the time they got to him, they'd been through 3 brothers, and then they were to him. He would sit in class and realize that his clothes didn't look like the kids around him and his shoes, but he had some elementary teachers that saw something in him, and those teachers provided him with clothing and shoes and things like that.
Miss Dewana has been our angel for 9 years. She's an angel to everyone in Calcasieu Parish. It's not just our school that she helps every kid in every school and every family who's in need. We've had fires that have happened at people's houses. We've had things that have gone wrong, and we call her on the weekend and she steps in, and we've got uniforms waiting at our school. We've got deliveries coming in of anything that our kids have needed. After the hurricanes, we had school supplies, and she was doing that for them, just trying to step in and give the families a leg up so that they can bring their babies to school and have everything that they need.
Dewana is an angel because she is so genuine in what she does and loving these kids and taking care of these kids. I just feel so strongly about what she does, and I'm just so happy to be a part of it.
I believe we all have gifts that we are given, and I believe that one of my gifts is the ability to shop. And I've always told my husband that, and he never believed me. But this is truly a team effort and a community effort. I could not have done this on my own. My family could not have done this on our own. But this community has just come together and kept this program going for 9 years. I just think it's so, it's a different world we live in now than when I grew up. I had a very strong family structure, and so many kids don't have that now. So I think we as a community need to do anything we can to try to latch on to a child and try to make a difference, try to get them through school. So many of our kids today, graduating from high school isn't even something that they think they can do. But without that, they're already way behind the 8 ball. And so our goal is to keep them in school and at least get them that high school diploma.
Ooh, move forward 11. Ooh, let me go.
Being a foster child, you feel very invisible. You don't feel seen because there's not a lot of you. And there's not many people around you that look like you and have experience like you. I feel good. I feel like I'm doing the right thing in the right space at the right time for the right reason. We are so twins. You is my twin. Yes. A tweet, a tweet. A bumblebee. I am Cherry Wilmore. I am Sherry Wilmore. And we are the founders of Cherish Times 2.
Cherish is a nonprofit that focuses on aging out foster children and help them to have successful transitions and overcome the many obstacles that foster youth face. Well, we started Cherish Times 2 that focus on foster children because it's our life experience. We grew up in Louisiana foster care system. We spent 12 years in it, and we aged out the system, so we understand what it means to transition from teenage years to adulthood, and what does that look like, and what you don't know what it looks like.
If you really listen to their story from growing up, they didn't have it easy. They even went to separate high schools. There were people who thought they were too much trouble together. That's far from the case, but you know, it's when you're a child, you're in the system, it's kind of what life hands you. Since they've gotten out, it's not what life hands them, they make it happen. And what they've done together is amazing. They are in step, in tune at all times with the same mission.
In this region, we have 356 kids in foster care, and we have about 120 foster homes. I can think of one young lady recently that's in college now. Sherry and Cherry were a part of that. They made sure she had a laptop. She moved on campus in New Orleans. She went to Southern in New Orleans to make sure she had everything that she needed to succeed.
Transitional Love is a program that helps vulnerable populations, particularly foster children, as they transition into adulthood to help them ensure that the barriers that they face are limited and they have a smoother transition. Some people need laptops, some people need household essentials. Over the years, we have taken little nuggets that we have learned and we give that to them and we encompass it with them. So like even today, you'll see with their baskets, it has little notes, it has messages from us. Your notebook is for you to write down your visions and make them real for you. Your wishing well is to dream big and make it happen. Your picture frame is for you to capture your moments. Those little things, the things that we wish we had learned, but that's okay, because everything you learn, you're always supposed to impart in the next generation so that they don't have to learn it as well.
The twins are angels because of their heart. You can just see it come out. Whenever they talk about the foster care system, whenever they talk about their past, they just put their heart into everything. They are becoming the angels of these kids in the system right now, the advocates, the angels, but you have to have community involvement for these kids truly to succeed. And that's the torch that they've taken up, and that's what makes them an angel.
I've been doing this for 29 years, and I've seen children age out, and I've seen how things have turned out. People are victims. They've gone through a lot, and they never lose that mentality. When I met Sherry and Cherry, I saw something completely different. They created a whole new environment of giving outside of their experience.
We realized for ourselves, and not just through the words of our foster parents, that they were truly there for us and they loved us. I'm sure Anna McMahon and Albert McMahon and Louise Navy Wallace didn't see these angels. I'm gonna just be honest. They didn't know who we would become, but they had an expectation that we would be who we are. Yes. And we met it. I think I'm exceeding. Oh Lord, here she goes. She's so extra, y'all. To volunteer and to be of service in general, beyond children, is something that is heartfelt. It's something when on the days when you're feeling down, when you're feeling lonely, when you're feeling lost, when you feel like you can't serve anyone. When you go and you help someone else during that time, I always find it is to be uplifting. I find it motivates me. It sends something to me that allows me to remember to be grateful and to be appreciative. Because oftentimes when we go through life trials and we go through the situations that we go through and they feel like they're the worst thing, sometimes when you're serving others, you find out that what you're going through, someone is going through it worse. It doesn't change what you're going through, but it allows you to shift things into perspective. Yes. And I love that. I love being able to shift things into perspective. And when you serve children, that is impactful because we forget that children become young adults and they become adults. And we often look at children we look at adults and we say, what happened to them? Why did they do the things that they do? But we forget that someone dropped their child. And what I mean by dropped them, they didn't service them, they didn't teach them something. So when we look back at an adult and we say, oh my God, they may not have been the most successful, somewhere along the line, someone didn't teach them those things. And so when you serve children, they become young adults. And so we want the world to be better. We have to change the children and the teenagers now, because they will become the adults of our present and our future.
I care about today's youth, especially in my community, because they're going to be the ones that are shaping tomorrow. Kids need more mentors and coaches. They need more people that are willing to step up, whether it's, young professionals like myself or whether it's retirees. They need people now more than ever to step up and be willing to come into their lives and be that safe person that they could tell anything to. I am Matthew Vicknair, and I am the board treasurer at Front Yard Bikes, and I also work at Louisiana Blue.
Okay, so now get your brake lever on this side.
Front Yard Bikes' mission is to create safe spaces for our kids to realize their intrinsic worth while we help them learn, grow, and build. We do that through bike mechanic programming, urban gardening, cooking programs. We have welding fabrication, tutoring, homework help, and we go on community bike rides throughout Baton Rouge.
There you go, stay straight. You ever seen something so beautiful in your life?
I love Front Yard Bikes because I've been coming here for 10 years and I met majority of my friends here. This is what everybody was technically raised at, This is a part of South Baton Rouge. We come here every day, spend a lot of time here. Kids my age these days, they get in a lot of trouble. And this place right here, this keeps them out of a lot of trouble. Some of my friends, they had got in some trouble, and now they was like, where you was, Braylon? I'm at the bike shop. I need some more rim tape.
Correct. Take that up.
This is a good environment. Like for kids after the school, like you could talk to youth counselors for about anything.
It's really important that kids need safe spaces, not just in this community, but every community. Working on these bikes is something more than just fixing a bike. It could develop a person, and it could develop into something much greater in that individual.
It's awesome that Louisiana Blue allows their employees to take off of work to volunteer. It means a lot to me because I'm very much trying to go to any and every event. It makes me feel great that not only does my direct leadership, but leadership above them is promoting that type of work.
Matthew's an angel because his secret power is never giving up. It's personal. I think that's a real value because, we build community and we're doing it through bikes and through gardening and cooking, but the whole point is relationships. That's the real value and point, is that we have people to lean on our toughest days, and we have people to celebrate us when we're doing really well. And I think Matt building the relationships that he has and being very personable makes that difference.
An angel, in my mind, is a special person who comes and helps in an area that's needed. Anything that he can do, whether it's raising money or whether it's just being a positive presence in the building, he is doing all of those things. And in my opinion, that's what an angel does.
It makes me feel good that students feel comfortable to come to me with anything and everything. I want to be that safe place that a student can come and ask any question, whether that be about bikes or whether that be about life. I just want to make a positive impact on our students and on my community. I think it's important to volunteer and help children in our community because I think I'm a firm believer in investing in our youth is investing in our future.
If we aren't prioritizing our youth, not only as a state, but also as a nation, then we will not be able to move forward. Our youth is what's going to keep us striving for a better community, no matter where we are. So being able to invest into our youth, create those safer atmospheres, safer communities, but also safer opportunities. Our youth know that they are prioritized, but also protected, and they'll be able to be our better and greater adults in the future.
Tonight's event has been amazing. We are so glad to be joined by people from all across the state, family and friends, honorees, previous angels, the media, community members, political leaders. It's amazing to be surrounded by people from all walks of life, here to celebrate the people who go above and beyond in support of Louisiana's kids. People who'd like more information can visit our website, Louisiana Blue, labluefoundation.org. Or if you want to find out about this year's honorees, angelawardla.com has all of the videos from tonight, more about our honorees and how you can support their important work.